Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first fall reading vlog. I am so excited for this week's reading vlog because I have been craving the fall vibes lately. It does not cool off and feel like fall here until like November, and I am not about to wait that long to start my fall reading. So in this week's reading vlog, I am going to be reading only fall themed books or books from my fall TBR, and I cannot wait because these are some of my most anticipated reads of the year, to be honest. And especially the book that I'm starting with, it's a very highly anticipated read for me. But I also have some other fall themed books that I'm just so excited to get to. I'm gonna try and make this video as cozy and fall themed as possible, but it is still like 100 and something degrees here, so I'll probably be putting my blinds down, lighting some candles, throwing on some fall ambience, and trying to do my best to make it as fall themed as possible. I also kind of wanted to do some fall decorating, but I don't know if I'm going to do that in this video or a different one. I have a lot of videos planned for this upcoming fall, so make sure you're subscribed so that you can see those because I just thrive in the fall time. So definitely excited for those, but I'm also really excited for the books that I have picked out for this week. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the first book of this video, which is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I actually started this book last night and I'm only like 3 chapters in, but so far I'm really enjoying our characters. I feel like they have very strong personalities, which I really love, especially in fantasy books when the characters have strong personalities. So definitely excited for this one. The plot for this sounds so cool. It's basically this group of like teenagers, and I think they're gonna do like this really dangerous, like almost impossible heist. And I don't know, I'm just really excited for this one. I feel like everybody who has read this book, they've loved it, so I'm definitely ready to join the fan club. And I also kind of feel like it's a perfect fall read, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this and I'll give you my thoughts whenever I get further. So far, I'm really enjoying the writing. I feel like I'm really enjoying the use of metaphors and just like the way that things are being described. Like right here, it's talking about like the buildings in this town, and it says that the buildings leaned against each other like tipsy friends gathered at a bar, tilting at drowsy angles. And I just love like fancy writing like that. Like not fancy, but just like when the author like really brings to life the scene. I feel like that's what I really like appreciate in writing. So far what I'm getting is that our main character Kaz is kind of a badass, and I'm living for that. I love a badass main character, so I'm loving it so far. Hey guys, I am about 160 pages into this book. I think I'm on chapter 14, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying like our main group of characters. Basically we have Kaz, who's like our main character, and he's kind of like the leader of this crew that he has put together in order to break into this ice court and try and steal this guy that is like creating this drug, I guess, and they're gonna try and kind of kidnap him and steal him and bring him back to this other guy for $30 million. Our main character Kaz, he is like the crew leader for this heist, and he's only 17 years old, but he is a badass, and the group of people that he has gathered are also badasses. So I'm like really excited to see how this whole heist goes down and what they end up doing, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. I'm loving the writing style. I feel like Leigh Bardugo just has a way of bringing the scenes to life and really not just like describing it, but like again bringing it to life. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into it and see how far I can get today. Hi guys, I have about 25% left of Six of Crows, and I'm really hoping to sit down and just binge it and finish it today. It's definitely a very easy, like, bingeable book. I read like over 100 pages last night and didn't get bored. I just was really tired and I had to put the book down, but I didn't want to. Like, I am loving this book. I'm loving all the action. I'm also loving how, like, we're not getting like all the information like at once, and it's kind of being like pieced together as the story goes on. I feel like that's definitely one of my favorite types of writing, is when like there's always some like mystery to the plan, or like you never really know what's gonna happen next. So I'm really loving that element in it, and I'm really loving the like fantasy element with the Grisha and like the abilities that they have. So I'm really intrigued right now. I'm currently like in the middle of the heist, I guess I would say, and I'm like really invested, so I really just want to like sit here and see what happens. I'm really hoping that everybody makes it out okay. Like, I've really come to love this crew. I've also loved like the way that we get pieces of how each member became a part of the crew and not just like all that information at once again. So I'm really enjoying it. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing as well. Like, I've read Ninth House by her and I absolutely loved the way that she writes. I just get so like wrapped up in the story that she's creating, and I absolutely love that. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into this book and hopefully finish it out today. I should definitely finish it. I have like 100 pages left, and like I said, it's a very bingeable book, so I'm gonna get to reading. Hey guys, as you saw, I finished Six of Crows yesterday and I really enjoyed it. I don't want to say like anything more because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was a really good book and I definitely understand the hype. I've also never read a fantasy book with like a heist plot, and I just thought that was so interesting and so fun to follow along. Like, you never really know what's gonna happen next, and there was definitely a lot of plot twists in this book, like even up to the very like end. Plot twists were like coming at me left and right, and I loved it. I had no idea like what was gonna happen, and I really want to pick up the next book as well in this series. Kind of left off at like a crazy, not like crazy, but like a spot where like I really want to pick it back up, like kind of like a cliffhanger. So I really enjoyed that book. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing, to be honest. The way that she just wraps me up into the story and the world that she has created every single time. I've only read 2 books by her, but like every single time that I've read one of her books, I am like obsessed with the world I'm reading about. So I really want to read more of her books, especially the next book in that series, obviously. And then I also started Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice yesterday, and I meant to kind of just start this one as like a before bed type of read, but I ended up reading like 70 pages, so I'm definitely enjoying it. I feel like the writing is very like fluffy and just fun and fast paced. It is a YA romance, and it's also labeled as a enemies to lovers romance, a YA enemies to lovers romance. But basically, we have Lucy, and Lucy and her mom own this coffee shop in this small fall-esque town, and then they realize that across the street there's a chain coffee shop that's supposed to be moving in, and Lucy discovers that Jack here, his parents own the coffee shop that is supposed to be moving in across the street from her mom's little small town coffee shop. So that's kind of where the enemies part comes in, but so far I'm really enjoying it. Definitely giving me fall vibes, especially with the cover, but also the way that everything is being described in this little town. I think the town is Briarglen. Like, the way that this town is being described is definitely giving me all the fall vibes. So I'm really enjoying it so far. It's definitely very light and fluffy writing, which I really love after reading so many like fantasy books recently. I'm actually hoping to finish this one today. It's a very fast-paced and like very easy to read type of book. And there's only like 300 pages and I'm already on page 70, so hopefully I can finish this one today and maybe we can read one more book in this video. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed. I'm gonna try and throw on like a very fall themed outfit. It's hard to do that right now because it's still so hot outside, but I'm gonna try my best to put on a fall themed outfit, and then I'm gonna jump back into pumpkin spice and everything nice. Hey guys, it has definitely been a couple of days, but I ended up finishing Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice on Friday night, and this is definitely one of the most lighthearted and clean YA romances I have ever read. Like, I don't even think there was any like hand holding in this book, if I'm being honest. I feel like it focused a lot more on like the pumpkin spice latte and the new coffee shop, that whole like situation, rather than like any romance, which is fine. I still feel like there was a lot of like fall vibes. It was definitely like giving all the fall vibes, if I'm being honest, but I just didn't really care much for the story, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like our main character was kind of annoying and kind of like over dramatic, and I just didn't really like understand her whole like issue with like she was making a big deal out of nothing, if I'm being honest, and it was just kind of annoying to like have to be in her perspective. Other than that though, I do like the fall vibes of it. That's kind of like the only thing I enjoyed, if I'm being honest. And like the mother-daughter coffee shop like owners like situation, like that's really cute, but I just didn't really care for our main character and I didn't really care for the story. But it definitely has like all the fall vibes, and I definitely would recommend it for like YA romances. But again, there was like hardly any romance, and it was mostly like just a competition between these like two coffee shops. But it was like one-sided competition. I don't know. It was okay. I ended up giving it like 3 stars, if I'm being honest. That's kind of being generous. So it was okay. I don't think I would recommend it to like my audience though. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think it's really worth the read. So, and then over the weekend I did start another book off of my fall TBR. I'm not going to be finishing this book in this week's reading vlog because it's kind of a longer one and it's an author that takes me a while to get through, and over the weekend I only ended up reading about like 100 pages, and that is The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. I'm actually really enjoying this one. I'm not the biggest fan of like historical fiction, but Kristen Hanna just has a way of like grasping my attention to where I'm like so interested in where these stories go and like what these people's lives look like and like how they act and everything. And so far, I'm really fond of our main character, Elsa. She has had a lot of like hardships so far in the book and like so far throughout her life. And the way that she handles everything with such grace and such like strong woman behavior, I'm really like loving to read about that. And then we're also following a few other characters. I don't want to give anything away because there's a lot of moments in this book that kind of shift and shape the story, especially like within the first 100 pages. And I don't really want to spoil any of that for you. So basically, all I want to say is that there's a drought going on in Texas, and all of the land is drying up, all of the money is drying up. People are having to sell their homes, sell their land, and move. And we're kind of just seeing the way that our main character Elsa and her family is navigating through these difficult times. Like, I still have a lot left of this book that I'm definitely intrigued to see where the story goes and to see what happens with these characters and with like the drought and everything. And the way that Kristen Hanna writes, it really just grasps my attention to where I like can't look away. It's like a car wreck that you can't look away from. But I'm really enjoying it. Her writing is so beautiful, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I don't know how many times I said that, but I am enjoying it. So that's basically where I'm at with my reading right now. Over the weekend, I finished Pumpkin Spice Latte and then I started The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. And earlier in this video, I did read Six of Crows, which was one of my most anticipated fall reads, and I absolutely loved it. I actually got the second book from my library, like the ebook, and I was so tempted to start that book over the weekend, but I've really been wanting to get into this one, so I decided that I would read a couple more before I jump back into that world. But I really liked Six of Crows. I really loved our crew of characters. So that's all the books that I read in this week's reading vlog and kind of my thoughts on everything. I would say I had a pretty successful reading week. I read about 2 to 2.5 books, which I'm pretty happy with. And if you have read any of these books, I would love to hear your thoughts and your reviews on them, or if they're on your TBR, I would love to know that as well. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and then I will see you in my next reading vlog. Bye!